Hey guys, Preacher 357 here. As usual, I'm out here on the range and I've got a gun that I've been thinking about buying for a long time. Ever since it came out, I guess last year, may even been the year before last. I don't even remember exactly when it came out, but I just wasn't sure if it was going to be a gun that was going to really fit in with my system. You know, there was going to be something that was going to be of value to me, because it's a little bit bigger than the one that I have now. And I'm talking about the LCP MAX. And I've had the LCPII for probably 5 years, maybe. And you know, I've carried it off and on, usually when I'm wearing jeans like I'm wearing now, because it fit in my pocket of my jeans better than my 642. So when I was pocket carrying in jeans, I would often carry the LCPII. And so I wasn't sure if the LCP MAX would fit that. And if it didn't fit that application, I wasn't sure if it would be something I really would use, because I prefer usually to carry my 642. You know, I've got a sentimental attachment to my little 642 I call Smitty. Been with me a long time, and I tend to carry that gun more than any others when I pocket carry. So when I wear my cargo pants, they've got larger pockets, and it fits well. And the LCPII actually is almost too small for the cargo pockets, because it kind of flops around in there a little bit and doesn't always stay upright in the cargo pants. But I said, well, might as well give it a shot. Might as well take a look at it, review it, compare it, and see if it works. If it does, great. I get more capacity because it's a 10-round magazine versus a 6-round magazine. And it also has an available 12-round magazine, which doesn't come with it. The gun only comes with one magazine, but I have bought a 12-round magazine to go with it. And here it is right here, the LCP MAX. And it is bigger than the LCPII. I could tell it was bigger just looking at it in the shop, but exactly how much bigger it's kind of hard to tell until you really put them up next to each other, and I never had done that, so I thought it'd be a good idea to do that. So why don't we go into the shop and get to the cleaning table there. We can get some good close-ups, and we'll do some comparisons there between these two guns. Hey guys, we're out here in the shop now, and I'm going to take a look at the LCP MAX and compare it with the LCPII, get a good close-up here on the cleaning table. But before we do that, I want to make sure to mention for you to check out the description. There's a link there for a discounted membership to the GOA, the Gun Owners of America. You can join up and help us fight for our gun rights here in the U.S. They do work all across the country, as well as doing work in the state that you live as well. So if you're not a member of the Gun Owners of America, I urge you to click that link and join up. I don't get any money back from that. They're not paying me for this. I'm a life member, and I'm simply promoting them because I believe in what they're doing. There's also a link there for the Tennessee Firearms Association. And if you live in the great state of Tennessee like I do, you can click that link and join up and help us fight for our gun rights here in this great volunteer state that we live in. Now let's get over here to the cleaning table and take a look at the LCP MAX. All right guys, we're out here in the shop at the cleaning table, and I've got the LCP MAX and the LCPII here, and there's a lot of similarities, but there's a lot of differences as well. Just looking at them here, the LCPII looks like it's got some roll pins down here in the frame that are not present on the LCP MAX. So I'm not sure what the difference is there, but that's something I do notice here. Looking at it, there's a lot. Otherwise, it looks very similar. Now, obviously, the biggest difference that I see here is the sights. The LCP MAX here has got what looks to be a night sight on the front here. A very large one too, with like a U shaped in the back. If you can see that or not. these are actually really good sights. It gives you a really good sight picture. You know, I wasn't all that fond of like the U-shaped rear sight on the Springfield that I did a review on not too long ago. The one I call the Gehenna Gata. But this one's not too bad. It fits perfectly in that U, so it's not a bad sight at all. Now the original, well, it's not the original, but the LCPII, the second generation here, had much improved sights over the original, but they are still very minimal. Just the small sight there on the front that you see with some texturing on them. It really needs some sight paint on it. And then just a notch on the back there that's slightly raised, and they're actually built into the slide. These are not sights that can be changed out, whereas the sights on the LCP MAX are both dovetailed. And so that is definitely an improvement. So surely they're going to make some aftermarket sight options that can be changed out on here for the LCP MAX, whereas with the original LCP, you really have no option for different sights unless you take it to a gunsmith and basically just have them, you know, cut dovetails in there and remove the original sights. So, you know, there's definite improvements there. You can see in the back here the similarities here with the cutouts and the slides, and that's because both of these are going to be hammer fire guns. These are not striker fire guns. They have really good triggers. They're pre-cocked hammers, but they are good triggers just the same. It almost looks like the LCP MAX is a little wider, but I don't think so. When I look in the back, it kind of looks like it, but from the top, it most certainly does not. Now, there's a little bit different contouring on the slide, but they seem to be pretty much identical in size. And if we look at the LCP from the rear here, what you can see is the LCP MAX is a longer grip. And that was really what concerns me about the LCP MAX, about it not really fitting into my carry program for a pocket carry, because the longer grip here, you know, is going to fill up your pocket more. It's going to make it harder to get in and out of your pocket. So that's why I'm not sure that the LCP MAX is going to be an option I'm looking for, whereas the LCPII is a little bit smaller there. But otherwise, dimensionally, they're pretty much identical. I mean, even the width is the same, which that's surprising, because you'd think the width would have to be what would have to change in order to get more rounds in, but it looks like they are the same width, pretty much exactly, until you look at the bottom at the magwell. You know, the grips in the front, you can tell a difference. It's definitely wider here than it is on the LCP here, but when you look at the back strap, they don't appear to be any different. And you can see on the LCP here, if you can see through the Talon grips I've got on here that I've just about worn off, that the front of the LCPII is more narrow than the rear. The rear has more width to it to fill up your hand. And so you get more width in the front of the LCP MAX, but it's the same in the rear pretty much. And the slides look like they're the same size. Let's just break these things down and take a look here. Now, with these guns here, they've got a cross pin that has to come out here. So we'll lock the slides back on both of them. You just have to pop this little cross pin out here. This no problem whatsoever. This one's in there pretty tight. There we go. And looking at the cross pins, they look identical. I can't tell any difference between the cross pins. So we just release this, slides come right off. So the first thing to do is we're going to look in the inside here. And it it looks like the LCP MAX actually has a shorter slide rail than the LCPII, just by a hair. But the slide rails are different. That's surprising. But you can see the frames are almost the same, though it has more bracing in the middle there, which is a good thing. A little stronger there in the front. So they've made some improvements. You can see the hammer on both of them. The the ejector on the LCP MAX looks like it's slightly larger. Just slightly. Just a little bit more beefy. So that's not a bad thing. That's a good improvement. It feels like the magazine release spring on this one is stronger than what the original one was on the LCPII. Remember, a while back I had trouble with my LCPII that the mag was dropping free under recoil while I was shooting, and the magazine release spring had gotten weak, and I replaced it with an M-Carbo mag release spring. This one here feels even more tight than the M-Carbo one does. So maybe they've rectified that problem with the magazine springs not being strong enough. But I mean, these guns look so similar inside. I mean, very, very much the same in most ways. Which makes me wonder, can you swap the slides out on them? Because that way, if you really needed the shorter grip, the smaller grip of the LCPII for pocket carry, you could get the better sights of the LCP MAX with it. And you know, that would help out a lot with shooting, just to have those better sights. So let's just see if that would work. I don't know if it will or not. Well, get the barrel lined up here, right? It appears it does work. It's a perfect fit. And I'm assuming if the LCPII will accept the LCP MAX slide, that the opposite is true as well, and that the LCPII slide will fit on the LCP MAX frame. That appears to be the case. So the slides are interchangeable. There's a little bit of difference. There's appears to be like a roll pin or something on this one that's not on, well, I take it there is one there. It's just smaller one in a different position. This one has a much beefier extractor. The LCP MAX, look how much larger that extractor is. So I'm sure that's an improvement. It looks like there's a shelf here on the back where you can get a hold of it to rack the slide from the rear. So that's not present on the LCPII slide either. Let's go ahead and take these off and put them back on the right guns. But just an interesting observation there, that if you really wanted that smaller grip frame for pocket carry, you could change it out and have the LCP MAX slide with the better sights on it. And it looks, I mean, I don't see any reason why it wouldn't function either. I mean, it looks almost identical. The barrel is a little bit different in the way it's cut there. So I don't know. I'd have to test it out. I would have to actually test that out with the different slides on there to verify they would function, but I don't see why they wouldn't. I believe they would. So, but anyway, there are the two guns, and the only question is, how well can I shoot the LCP MAX? How much better can I shoot it versus the LCP? And how much of a detriment is that extra length of the grip there and a little bit of extra girth there going to be in pocket carry? And so that's what we've got to test out now. So we might as well get back out to the range and do that now. All right, guys, we're back out here now. So the main task then is to see how it fits in my jeans. If it's something that works for that application that I've been using the LCPII for. And I carry it in an Alabama pocket holster, this Kydex pocket holster here. And so I have tried them out, and the LCP MAX fits in the same pocket holster. So there's a plus. But I get the LCPII here, and then I get it in my pocket. Goes in pretty easy. Got room in there to get a hold of it. Fits pretty good. Good fit for these pants. All right. I'm going to take the LCP MAX here. Got it in there now. And let's see what happens when I try to pocket carry the LCP MAX. Really not a lot of difference. I mean, it seems like the gun's bigger, but when you really evaluate it, it's not that much bigger, and it doesn't fill the pocket that much more either. I mean, not hard to get out of the pocket at all. So, and this gun is unloaded, by the way. I just checked it before we started filming here. I may have to rethink some things, but obviously the big test is going to be shooting it. I'm going to assume, being a bigger gun with better sights, that it's going to shoot better than the LCPII that I have here. And I would put money on that, but we got to try it first just to see. So let's load up some rounds and see what we can do. Now, when I did the testing beforehand, just to try to get an idea of where it was hitting all over the place, but my concentration was really off because it was not going into battery. The slide would not go all the way back into battery. Not sure what's going on with that. I'm hoping that's something that just works its way out as I shoot a little bit. I've got some different kind of ammo here too that I'll try just to see if that does better. But that's obviously a big issue, and no matter how much better capacity it has and whether it carries just as well, if it won't be reliable, then you really can't carry the gun. So let's start off with loading up some rounds. This is the 10 round magazine here. I'm going to load up this Remington that I've got here. It's a 95 grain full metal jacket here. The green and white box, as it's often called. And we'll see if it'll feed a little bit better this time than it did the first time. And of course, I've got this other magazine as well. And we'll try the other magazine because it could be a magazine problem. May not be a problem with the gun, it may be a problem with the magazine. So, I think that's 10. All right. So we'll just start off over here on the red plates like normal, and just see what we can do here. Nice bright. Well, it didn't go into battery when I racked the slide. Let's try right here. Didn't go into battery. Didn't go into battery. Didn't go into battery. There we go. Still having trouble kind of getting the range. It seems to be doing a little bit better. Still having some malfunctions there. Let's try this other magazine. It came with a little speed loader thing here, which doesn't seem like it's the best of speed loaders. It's kind of like a Glock speed loader. So I don't know. Doesn't appear to work very well. Doesn't push the rounds around very well. Now then. Yeah, I don't like this speed loader at all. I should have brought my Uplula out here. Yeah, this thing's worthless. So the speed loader you get with the LCP MAX, you can toss that in the trash. It's pretty much worthless. I don't like to be negative, but I don't like those style. I don't like the ones that come with the Glocks either. The Up-Lula by far is the best that you're going to find. So, but this is rather tight when you get down to these last rounds. I want to say I've only got 11 in here, but that may be 12, but I think that's just 11. And I can't push it down anymore. Let's try it with the mag loader, see if I can get it in there with it. Maybe so. All right. Well, maybe it is good for a little something. So I got 12 rounds in there now, and it is tight in there. All right, it fed. Gives you full grip with this magazine. See here, the 12 rounder extends down a pretty good bit. Now I'm going to bet this is not going to be as good for pocket carry, but it gives you pretty much a full grip. The pinky still wants to slide off a little bit, but you can get enough purchase to kind of hold it there. Let's see if I can hit Mr. Cowboy here. Didn't go in the battery. Didn't go in the battery. Didn't go in the battery. Well, so far this has been a pretty good single shot pistol. That wasn't really what I was wanting it for. I'm not sure what I'm doing. It seems like it gets better the further down the magazine. So the magazine tension, or the way the magazine is, there's something about the magazines that are preventing it from going into battery when they have the full tension. And as it gets further down in there and there's less pressure being exerted upwards, then it starts to feed. So I'm going to assume with a little bit of time and breaking these magazines in a little bit, that's going to rectify itself. But we've got to keep shooting and see if that happens. So far, not overly impressed. Now, I've got some more ammo here, some different ammo, and we'll see if that changes anything, but I don't think it will, because I think it's a magazine issue. But both magazines are doing it. Even the one that I bought myself is doing it, so that makes me think it's more of a design issue than anything. Of course, I'm assuming every gun doesn't do this, so there may just be something with this one here. And I may have to do some investigating here on this gun to see what I can figure out. Maybe there's something I haven't noticed that's causing that problem. These are a different type of projectile too. These are instead of a round nose, these are a flat point. I don't know if I've ever seen a 380 with a flat point. That's a new one. All right. Let's just try. See, it didn't go in the battery there. Of course, I didn't slam it home. I didn't rack it back and just really let her fly, but still, it should go into battery. Let's try the 35 plate here. Didn't go into battery. Didn't go into battery. Huh. I'm not sure where these are going. I'm still having trouble with the battery issue. Brass came back and hit me on where it went. Didn't go into battery. I'm not sure where these are going. Because the ones I hit, I was hitting high on the target, so I brought it down a little bit and never hit it again when I brought it down. Huh. I don't know, we got another magazine here. Of course, these are my first shots. I've just brought this out here tonight because I just picked it up yesterday, and this is the first chance I've had to even get out here. And I was really wanting to go ahead and get some time in with this and just do a first impressions kind of review. I really was not expecting to have trouble with this gun. Let's go out here to 35 again and see if I can figure this thing out. Getting high. Well, that's the cowboy. Didn't go in the battery. Been doing a little bit better. I think it's going to break in and be all right, but still, that's, you know, you kind of really would like to see the gun function right out of the box. Now, I know a lot of guns take a break-in period, especially like 1911s, things that have really tight tolerances. But, you know, one of these polymer frame guns, you just really don't expect it to have to do that. The tolerances just aren't as tight. You know, the polymer flex is, it's just, you know, let's just say when you pick up a Glock and bring it out the first time, you're almost guaranteed it's going to work right out of the box. And most of your brands are going to. So this is a little disappointing. It's a little bit disappointing. I'm going to load up another mag here, this 12 round mag. And we'll give her another try. Maybe one of those things we have to do a follow-up video after I get more rounds through it and see, because I may not be able to put enough rounds through it to really fix the problem today. But let's keep trying here. We'll go back over here on the red plates. I think I was doing a little bit better on the red plates than I was on that one out there at 35. And then I missed. Yeah, I never could find that 4-inch plate, but that's not surprising. This gun seems to be easier to shoot than the LCPII, but it's still a micro gun. It's still not a target gun. You know, even with that larger grip and feeling better in the hand, it's still what it is. And that's not a range toy. You know, it's a gun that's designed for pocket carry. It's designed for concealed carry. Let's try the little LCP here. See if I shoot it any better. Well, I can't even see the sights on this thing. It's dark enough out here now that I can't even see them. I want to say it shoots low and you have to hold high, but I may be wrong. I think I grazed it. There we go. You know, as little tiny guns go, this doesn't shoot all that bad. It's got a pretty good trigger on it. I think it might actually be a little bit better feeling trigger than this one on the LCP MAX. But it's been broke in too. I've had the gun for several years and put a lot more rounds through it. All right, let's try a little bit more. It seems to be at least feeding now. So that's a plus. I'm not having the failures to go into battery. So that seems to have worked itself out. But I'm gonna be honest, that extra capacity is really tempting to be able to carry more rounds when I pocket carry. Because, you know, I'm used to carrying a 642, a 5-round J-frame revolver, 38 special. So, I mean, only having 6 rounds in the LCPII is not that big of a deal to me. I'm not one of these guys who thinks every time I leave the house I'm going to have to fight World War III. You know, I realize in almost 100% of the situations, you know, you're not going to need more than 5 rounds. You know, if you're one of those people who likes to plan for that 0.01% possibility, you know, more power to you. I ain't got nothing wrong, ain't got any problem with that. There's nothing wrong with it. But you know, sometimes I take comfort in you know, ease of carry as a higher priority than that small percentage of times I might need more rounds. So, you know, we all have to make those decisions, you know, about what we're going to do and whether we're going to carry it all, what we're going to carry, you know, what we feel like we need. So I'm not going to fault anyone for any decision they make. If they want to strap an AR on their back and walk around with an AR all day because they feel like they're going to need it, I don't have a problem with it. Some people might, but I don't. But I'm not going to do that. You know, I don't see the need in it. But we'll load up. I'm going to load up a couple more mags, and then I'm going to call that good enough. It's clearly going to take some more testing and some more time with this gun, really, to get a full idea of what I think about it and whether it's going to replace the LCPII in its somewhat limited role that it has. But we'll see. We will see. I don't know how many rounds that is, but I'm not going to open up another box. We'll just go with that. Whatever's in there is in there. So let's shoot over here one more time. Try this one at 35 again. All right. Woo, am I going to hit that little one? I don't know. I'm gonna feel pretty good if I can hit this 3-inch blade here. Look at there. Looky there. I got one more round. That's all she wrote. I'm gonna tell you what. She's starting to perform a little bit better. I'm getting used to it. Kind of getting a good feel for it. And I'm going to tell you what. My LCPII here, which I've called Reggie on occasion. A friend of mine named it Reggie for me. Reggie may be in trouble. Because I really am liking what I'm seeing from this gun now. Now that we've kind of gotten past that feeding issue. I'm starting to get the knack for it. So we'll definitely have to do a follow-up and see how I like it in 2 or 3 weeks after I get a little bit more time with it. But guys, I appreciate you coming out. God bless you. Y'all take care of yourselves. We'll see you next time.